Today on Running to Him, are we ready to follow Christ because He has affected our lives? Today's reading is Luke 5, verse 1 through Luke 6, verse 11, and we will be concentrating on verse 5:11. Luke 5:11 says, "When they had brought their boats to land, they left everything and followed Him." On occasion, we work hard to accomplish something only to fail in the long run. Peter and others fished all night but caught nothing. Not only was the lack of a catch disappointing, but it also meant that they would have nothing to sell. In Toni's village in Crete, fishermen and farmers will hawk their wares very early in the morning, shouting fresh fish, fresh octopus, or watermelon and potatoes. These men have worked through the night, or in the farmer's case, gotten up very early in the morning to bring their wares to market. If they fail to catch any fish or the crop fails, they will have nothing to sell. We can view Jesus' miracle of the fish as simply a way that he wanted to get Simon and the sons of Zebedee's attention, but I tend to believe that it was more than that. These men worked all night and received nothing for their labors. Jesus came and provided for them in two ways. First, he provided physically. Secondly, he provided spiritually. Rarely do miracles have only one purpose. There is a physical aspect, but there is also a spiritual one. When I was in the Army, I blew my eardrum out, attempting to get some water out of my ear. The doctor said the damage was undoable, and I had a permanent hearing loss. I was a member of a chapel group that met each day during lunch, and we kept a prayer log. But a particular prayer could only go in that log if someone agreed to take it and pray for that solution each day until the answer came. My hearing loss went into the book. Several months later, I was driving home in my VW bus, and suddenly I began to hear in stereo. My hearing returned to my right ear. The next day I went to the doctor. He looked at my ear and then looked on the chart, and even though it said I had physical damage, now there was no indication that my eardrum had ever been damaged. So this miracle had two effects. I was physically healed, but the healing carried with it a much more meaningful message. God can answer seemingly impossible prayers. The answer went into the book, and those in our group were encouraged in our walk with Christ. Peter's response to Jesus' miracle was one of worship. When they got to shore, he fell face down at Jesus' feet. But Jesus had a message. Those fishermen were no longer going to toil over finding fish to sell. They were going to become fishermen of a different kind, fishers of men. And just as Jesus had provided the fish, he would also provide the men for Peter to talk to. Jesus is speaking to us in this passage. He is telling us that he can and will provide for the mission he has for us. We need to stop laboring for goals that are physical and change our focus to the spiritual. When was the last time each of us sought out another person to encourage him or her? When was the last time we spoke to someone about a relationship with Christ? When was the last time we prayed that God provides not only for our needs, but that he might also be glorified? Thank you for listening. We pray that today's devotion was meaningful to you. We would love to hear from you. You can use either Facebook or YouTube to like, subscribe, share, and tell others about us. If you would like to contact us, you can reach me at phineasjacobus@runningtohim.net.